the 10 largest super ships in the world. The number one is even bigger than 6 aircraft carriers. When you think of the biggest ship, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it the magnificent Titanic, with its romantic love story? The massive Titanic was 882 feet long, 92 feet wide, and weighed 46,328 tons. It was indeed a very large ship. But I have to tell you, any of the ships we're introducing today are much, much larger than the Titanic. Let's take a look at the 10 largest ships in the world. Number 10, Vale Brazil, owned by the Brazilian company Vale. This is the world's largest bulk carrier. A bulk carrier is a merchant ship specially designed to transport unpackaged bulk cargo, such as ore, coal, or grain. The Vale Brazil is primarily used to transport iron ore from Brazil to Asia. How amazing is its capacity? A single shipment of steel from it is enough to build 3 Golden Gate bridges. The ship is 1,188 feet long, 213 feet wide, with a staggering gross tonnage of 198,980 tons. That's 4 times the size of the Titanic we mentioned at the beginning. Number 9, the Jar Viking tanker. This ship made a strong impression when it first entered service. It was one of the world's largest ocean-going vessels, a tanker that sailed across the globe. The ship is 1,225 feet long, capable of carrying 380,000 tons of cargo, and travels at a maximum speed of 16 knots. The Jar Viking served for a full 30 years, until 2008. It is currently used only as a storage tanker. But over the past 30 years, it supplied a massive amount of crude oil to ports around the world and was considered the largest and most powerful ship in the world at the time. Number 8, the Globtic Tokyo supertanker. It first sailed in February 1973 and was one of the largest tankers of its time. Its overall length is 1,243 feet. What does that mean? It's longer than 4 football fields, my friends. Such a giant ship could cruise comfortably at a speed of 16 to 17 knots. Its gross tonnage reached 238,002 tons, more than 5 times that of the Titanic, with a deadweight of 484,000 tons. What's even more commendable is its appearance. The red and black color scheme makes it look majestic yet vibrant. If you saw it, you might also be captivated by its beauty and stability. Number 7, the TI class supertankers. The TI class is composed of a series of ships: the TI Asia, TI Africa, TI Europe, and TI Oceania. In terms of size, they may not be the longest ships, but when it comes to tonnage, they definitely hold a prominent place. This series of ships is 1,247 feet long, with a gross tonnage of 234,006 tons. They rank among the top of all ships currently in operation. Even when fully loaded, they can travel at a speed of 30.5 kilometers per hour. These ships can normally reach a stunning top speed of 25.5 knots. This makes them one of the fastest vessels of their kind in the world. Besides their speed, they are also very good-looking. At first glance, they look like giant icebergs floating on the water, adding a splash of color to the vast ocean. Number 6, the Emma Maersk container ship. This is a large container ship owned by the Danish shipping giant, the Maersk Group. The ship's name sounds like a person's name. That's right. The ship is officially named after the late wife of the group's former president, Arnold Maersk MC Kinnie-Mahler. Since its launch, it has held the title of the world's largest container ship. The ship was built in 2006 at the Odense Steel Shipyard in Denmark, and with a top speed of 26 knots, it became one of the fastest container ships. However, the glory of the Emma Maersk doesn't end there. Since the world's longest ship, the supertanker Knock Nevis, was scrapped in India in 2010, the title of the longest operational ship fell to the 397-meter-long Emma Maersk. The Emma Maersk primarily operates on the Eurasia route between Aarhus, Denmark, and East Asia. The ports it frequently calls that include Bremerhaven and Rotterdam in Europe, and Shenzhen and Hong Kong in Asia. As such, it is also a frequent visitor through the Suez Canal. The Emma Maersk has a total length of 397 meters, a width of 56 meters, and a gross tonnage of 170,000 tons. It's even larger than the world's biggest aircraft carrier, the American USS Ronald Reagan. The USS Ronald Reagan is 333 meters long, 41 meters wide, with a gross tonnage of 98,000 tons. These numbers pale in comparison to the Emma Maersk. Number 5. The Esso Atlantic-class tankers. There were two Esso Atlantic-class ships, the Esso Atlantic and the Esso Pacific. The Esso Atlantic tankers had a very elegant appearance. The world of ships is also a world where looks matter. Both in the past and present, it remains one of the most popular large vessels. Both ships were built by Hitachi Zosen in Japan and were launched in October and June of 1977, respectively. The owner was Esso Tankers of Liberia. The two ships were 406 meters long, 71 meters wide, with a draft of 25.3 meters. Their maximum deadweight was 590,300 tons, primarily used for oil transport. Of course, they lived up to the public's affection, serving diligently for 35 years. They were honorably retired in Pakistan in 2002. Number 4. The Prairial. The Prairial was also a supertanker, built in 1979. It was 1,359 feet long and 206 feet wide, with a deadweight tonnage of 274,826 tons. It stood out for its cargo capacity. Moreover, such a massive deadweight tonnage made it fearless in the face of strong winds and high waves, always forging ahead. It worked diligently in the long-distance transport of crude oil and commodities for 34 years. It was scrapped at a shipbreaking yard in Pakistan in September 2003. Number 3. The Batilis-class tankers. This was the first class of large tankers in the world to exceed 400 meters in length, built by the French shipyard Chantiers de l'Atlantique. There were 4 ships in total. The first was the Batilis and the second was the Bellamaya, both built in 1976. The other two were the Pierre Guillemette, developed in 1977, and the Prairial, developed in 1979. The Batilis-class tankers were 414.22 meters long, 63 meters wide, with a draft of 28.6 meters. They were equipped with 4 steam turbines, producing 64,800 horsepower. Their maximum deadweight was about 555,000 tons. They were responsible for transporting oil around the world. They were scrapped in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, in 1985. Number 2. The Pierre Guillemette. This was a supertanker built in Saint-Nazaire in 1977. It was named after the French politician Pierre Guillemette. It had a length of 414.2 meters and a deadweight of 555,000 tons. Because it was so large, it could not pass through the Panama or Suez canals. It could only enter a limited number of ports, which led to declining demand. It was decommissioned after only 6 years of use, which was a real shame. Number 1. The Seawise Giant. This was an ultra-large crude carrier originally, with a deadweight of 420,000 tons. In 1980, its midsection was extended by 80 meters, increasing its deadweight to 564,000 tons. It was 458.45 meters long, 68.9 meters wide, with a draft of 24.5 meters. It is the largest ship ever built. A fitting name, truly a giant. The Seawise Giant was primarily used for crude oil transport between the United States and the Middle East. However, during one mission, the ship was attacked by Iraqi bombers and was sunk. Although damaged in the war, it was still salvageable, showing its incredible resilience. A company spent a year salvaging it and brought it to Singapore for repairs. It was later put back into service until 2004, when it became a permanently moored storage vessel. Although it no longer roams the seas, as an astonishing feat of engineering, it is still a sight to behold. It is the largest ship ever built. Its cargo hold could fit 4 St. Paul's cathedrals. If you are a ship enthusiast, it is truly worth seeing in person. Number 0. The Prelude. The Prelude is a floating liquefied natural gas (FLNG) platform built by Samsung Heavy Industries in South Korea. It cost over 17.5 billion US dollars, which is over 500 billion new Taiwan dollars, and used more than 260,000 tons of steel. With a length of 488 meters and a fully loaded displacement of over 600,000 tons, it is deservedly the largest vessel in the world. Even the well-known American Nimitz-class supercarriers would need 6 of them to match its size. If the Prelude were to be stood on its end, it would be 45 meters taller than the Empire State Building in New York. Besides its massive size, the Prelude also has incredible capabilities. This behemoth can produce 3.6 million tons of liquefied natural gas per year, enough to supply all of Hong Kong's electricity needs for a year. Its storage tanks have a capacity equivalent to 175 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Alright, that's all for this video. Of these 11 giant ships, which one impressed you the most? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.